All right, good morning. We're back out here to the pond that I've been working on, the spring fed pond. Right off the bat, right over here, I stuck my pickup right off the bat. So I had to use the excavator to pull it out. And it is an absolute mud hole out here. We got a bunch of rain last couple of days. Well, let's say a bunch of rain. I didn't think we got that much rain, but apparently we did. So I don't know what today is going to entail, if I'll even be able to do anything today. But anyway, the plan is to go over here to fix the dam. I'm going to try to dig down and get what dry dirt I can to fix the dam with. Matter of fact, I may even, because there's a big hump right over here next to the spillway. I may in fact take and dig it out and pile it over here because it'll be dry, and then take that and move it up into the where the dam blowout's at, so I can get it compacted in there. And then I'm going to try to dig out what I can, but again, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything. Especially, I'd like to go get the 850, but I don't even know if there'd be any sense in it right now. I'll just kind of have to wait and see how things go today, or this morning. So anyway, I did get the siphon done. It's all loaded back up. Dropped the pond. Oh shoot, I bet it dropped it at least 3 foot. So we're quite a ways now. Water level's quite a ways from the top of the dam. So I should be able to get in there and work that. But the top of that dam is so slimy right now. It's probably a good thing I got stuck. I was trying to get up here where I could load directly, undo those sections, throw them right in the truck. I probably would have slid off either in the pond or off in the ditch. So it may have been a blessing. But anyway, I'm going to fire the 210 back up. I'm going to move down in there and see if I can't come up with some dry dirt to stack in that blowout, and if nothing else, raise it up. And hopefully, it's supposed to be nice all week, but I've got to get back over and finish some driveways and stuff over at those houses that I dug the crawl spaces for. One of the houses are going to try to get moved in there in the next week or two, so which surprised me, really. So anyway, that's the plan. Midweek, maybe get over there. Man, I'd really like to get this. I'd really like to get this done. Fingers crossed I'm gonna have enough dirt, but it's not looking good. But we'll just kind of have to see how it goes. All right. Let's see if we're gonna go make a mess, and if we are, then I'll have to do something different. Here we go. Oh, a little throttle. Get off in here and get stuck. strip a little bit of these briars crap out of here. I don't want to try to compact this on top of that. It's been here since forever, so those little cows get to walking down in on it. They find a low spot, they'll get to walking in on it. Next thing you know, they're pushing it down. Well, a little deep in the back. I'm gonna have to be really careful. Or I'll get in here and get myself hung up. Get this hung up. better dang well be careful. Need it here spinning around. This is starting to get a little deep behind me. Starting to get a little deep. See, I can't really use any of this because this is nothing but mud. So I've got to see if I can get over and try to get something that's dry or relatively dry for me to come back in here. Try to get compacted as much as possible. So many vines and crap on this pond that this may end up by being next summer. I don't know. Alright guys, as you can see, I got the dam just roughed in. That ground is way too wet. I compacted the blowout. I compacted it as well as I could. The mud, the dirt's not mud, but it's extremely wet. So I mean, it's going to get compacted. It got compacted as well as possible. But am I going to be able to get the dozer on there, the 850, and run up and down that? No, not right now. So my goal was to get that built back and to kind of get this smoothed up in here a little bit, because especially over here, I'm not going to be able to get back in there. So the only way I can get in there is with the excavator, and then it's kind of iffy. So I want to try to pull, and what I'm doing now, with this being the spillway, I'm actually going to try to make this into a waterway. You know, I talked in the last video or two about the water running under this dam. You know, I've sat here and looked at the water that's coming out, and I'm not sure. I'm sure that it's leaching under the dam some, but there are so many springs around here. This pond could have been built on a spring, because one of the guys that grew up fishing this as a kid, right over here behind me, said there was a spring and a big one, the water boiling up out of the ground. So there is a possibility that this is just spring water coming out, because up there you got water running out. Could it be coming out of the pond? Possibly. But that up there is getting actually above, or getting close to, the water level. So I mean, yeah, it's possible, but it's possible it could be springs too. But I mean, because it's running down through here. So my goal is to basically make this a waterway, because this is really wet over here. I want to leave enough height here that we can channel the water. If we get a big 10-12 inch rain, we can keep it from wanting to climb up in here. So I want to keep enough slope here to keep it corralled, so to speak, as it works its way down. But I also want it to be enough slope that any runoff is going to run off and run down into the waterway spillway, and take it off and not let it pool up in here. I'm going to suggest that he put hot wire up around the back side of this dam to keep the cows out from the back side, especially because they'll get in here and waller this around and they'll just tear it completely to pieces. So also by doing this, I'm getting more dirt to go on top of the dam. I really don't think I'm going to be able to raise the dam up any. I think I'm just going to have to maintain the original height and set my spillway on that, but go ahead and fix the erosion portion of it. But I'm still trying to get more dirt through up here to do that with. Here in a little bit, there's a big hump right here. I'm going to take all that hump out and throw it over here. And right now what I'm doing is taking and pulling all this back and putting it over here. Again, trying to keep a gradual slope going down in here, because I don't want to make this a waller down in here. And so a lot of this dirt's going to have to come and go back up in here to create a slope up towards the dam in order to keep everything running down. And I'm probably going to have to even pull that right there out as well. That hump, you see a hump right there, I'm probably going to utilize it as well. There's enough slope here. He was concerned about if we took that out, it would get out into the field. It's not going to. We got way too much slope coming this way, so it's not going to. So I'm probably going to rob that as well. I could probably get that with a track loader from up that way, and when it comes time, utilize it in this area here to build this up. But I've got to rob ground. I've got to rob ground from out there where that fence area was at, and I've got to take and bring it back and try to get it up on top of the dam. And I got to fill that big diversion ditch that I've got going down through there. I've got to fill it back in and make repairs to the dam because it's really eroded over here on this side as well. So I'm going to try to, like I said, I'm going to probably bring the 850 over here. D6 is, I think that it's too heavy to have to get in here. It's just going to run up more than I'd get done a heck of a lot quicker, but it's just going to run up everything. That 850 is not near, if flotation's good on it, if I stick it, I can yank it out real quick with this. Not a big ordeal. So, but I've got to get over here and get the spillway entrance done before I can close this diversion off, because as soon as I get it done, it's going to start filling back up. And so I've got to get that spillway done in order to do that. So my goal for today and tomorrow, hopefully, is that I can get that spillway in where I can go get my material. I may have enough material to finish that up, and that way I can get the riprap in there and get the riprap in and around this corner, and then we'll probably, for now, get the riprap up next to the pond and down and around this corner, and where it straightens up, I'm hoping that we can get utilize the ground, get enough grass planted in here that we won't have to riprap all the way down. But I'm not saying that we may not have to riprap all the way down. So fingers crossed on that. But I've got to get the 850 in here and do all this. I'm gonna make a flat bottom spillway up here, so I'm gonna cut it down at, I can say, probably at least another foot. I gotta shoot my spillway, make sure I get my spillway depth just right. So a lot to do on that yet, but I'm going to try to get all this slope back here get it through up here so we can utilize it on top. Again, this back slope, I'm probably gonna have to stay off of. But if I can get up and get, because some of that will probably be good on the inside too, because I'm not gonna be able to go off on the inside of that. And there's gonna be a bunch of tree roots and stuff like that on the inside that I'm gonna have to contend with. So I really want to take and slope that inside back and widen it out this way, but I just don't know if I'm going to have the dirt. So anyway, that's a preliminary thought, and that's where we're at right now. That's kind of what we're doing. So I'm going to get back after it here and get this moved. The ground here is not, I mean, it's definitely wet, but I mean, it's not muddy. So I'm trying to set it up here. Again, I don't want to make too, see, I've still got really low spots here. I want to try to get all of this filled in so it doesn't hold water. Because it, you know, it needs to kind of start helping it dry up some. There's a good possibility I'm not going to be able to get it dried up enough to be able to do anything with it. May never be able to get it exactly like I want, because of it just inherently being wet. And if we got a bunch of shallow springs coming in, then yeah, there'll be no way that I'll ever be able to get in here. So that's why I just kind of took the excavator, trying to fill as many holes in as I could. Kind of sweeping it as I work my way out. Like I said, I had the excavator in far enough that the ground was actually above the track, so I had the track below the surface. So that was a good time to get on out of here before I really had to embarrass myself. So many roots and stuff in this ground here, it makes it kind of, when I pull it to me, it wants to jerk and kind of washboard a little bit. It's because it keeps snagging roots and pulling the bucket down into the ground. A lot of this spillway has to go down through here because it is kind of humped up through here. I may have to set the spillway deeper, or this drainage ditch deeper, in order to keep it from wanting to pull up in here. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I am going to take the excavator and go through here and kind of just sweep this up so that water will run out of here. I mean, I did get quite a bit done today, but it has just been a fight because the ground is so wet. So I mean, it has just been a total fight. I did get this portion of the pond done over here for the most part. I'm gonna have to end up by coming back to completely clean up. Probably, I don't know, summertime, because it's just right now, it's just entirely too wet. But I'm gonna take the excavator and go down through here and just smooth that ditch up so that water can get ran out of there. It's just so muddy over here. Tomorrow in the morning when I come back, I'm going to get this spillway absolutely 100% ready for rock, and then Monday morning I'm gonna rock it Monday morning, and then that way I'll be able to divert the water back into to the pond, and that way the drainage ditch over here, I can get it filled in and try to get the backside of that other pond. I mean, I'm more than halfway done, but I've got to get this spillway finished so I can get the rock in here and get the rock in here and get the material down, get the rock in here, like I said, so I can get that water going down. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, pass the word on, leave comments, that'd be awesome. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow.